Matt, in typical fashion, already knows his first five. Ben also has his first five chosen here, ready to go. We've got Matt on the bottom, Ben on the top in green. So we're going to get this party started here pretty soon. So didn't have much time to really dissect the first five choices. I think this is a very interesting matchup where first fives will be critical. So we'll see how that all plays out here. Traditionally, first fives are critical.
I'm assuming Matt is on his books. I guess I don't know for sure, but
right. And Matt rolled off 6 basics to Ben's 3, so Matt had choice and gave Ben the opportunity to go first here.
we got to keep track of how many times he activates Memorialize this game.
Memorialize? All right, so
see if it matters.
He's just locking Saria out right away with that Namine effect.
I think that's fine. I haven't actually watched Matt play a game yet, but I assume that the Saria Phoenixborn action is something he plans to do a return.
Yep. And then follows it up with a Magic Siphon. Great mill card. Matt's going to respond with his own Three-Eyed Owl book.
Right. I mean, if you're on Owl, usually you just run it out there right away.
Absolutely.
Because you want to give yourself enough time to do it.
Been going aggressive with that Huntmaster right out of the gate. Already got.
I'm not sure that he can be any more aggressive than Huntmaster there. There's only one Huntmaster in his deck, and I guess Beast Mage is kind of large on the initiative or whatever.
Absolutely.
Or non-initiative. I don't remember which way it works.
Yeah, it's one way or the other. I was thinking about Beast Mage the other day as a potential augury target. So we get 5 dice spent already, so half of the dice pool is gone for Ben already, but he's got 2 really good threats on the board here. Ability to really pressure Matt. If Matt makes Owl, he could still just take 4 here. Not sure if that's his plan overall, but it seems like probably pretty good to just take the 4 and let the Three-Eyed Owl memory drain. But maybe Matt wants to save that damage. We'll see what happens. So we certainly get the first attack here.
So he just attacks the Owl, which is interesting, and Matt just doesn't care.
Nope. Just puts the blocker up and takes the damage. Doesn't force that early guard from Saria. Matt's going to do some meditation now. 1. Get a redirect out of his deck.
Redirect is pretty important, I think, in general. And Magic Siphon. So he didn't first 5 Magic Siphon. There's only 1 in the pile.
Into Violinist. Also probably pretty good for Matt's plan. And he's going to meditate the Owl Book. That probably means he's on that Druid plan.
He's on Essence Druid. There's no way he'd meditate that book otherwise. Doing the old
Brian B trick.
Brian trick, yeah.
Essence Druid is really, really interesting here. Because it really does turn off that Huntmaster.
Turns off a lot of things, like the deck list here. The only thing he has that kills it is Shatter Pulse. I mean, obviously, like, he can do a combination of things to kill it, but...
Sure. So, Ben's going to bring down the Frostback Bear book. Use the Magic Siphon on his own dice instead of manipulating one of Matt's dice this turn. Matt's going to have to meditate into that Three-Eyed Owl.
Well, one benefit of the mill plan is that even if you meditate heavily, you're still probably ahead in the decking race.
Probably. There comes the Memorialize.
This is so funny. I don't know that Memorialize is good. I've tried to play it a bunch of times, but we'll see how many like mill undos it does.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be like 4 or 5 maximum. I can't imagine this game going longer than that.
Huntmaster's going to hunt out the owl.
So this is also interesting because this attack indicates that he really cares about that last card in his hand.
Right. And so Matt just goes ahead and gets the Phoenixborn Guard up and off here, leaving Ben with the ability.
He's going to get that value. So
that's I can't first 5 that.
I bet he drew it off the Namine.
Probably. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense because I said that's definitely not a first 5 card. That's a chain.
You're also not allowed to play it in round 1, right?
Right. So I don't know.
So that was like, it was like half a bluff.
Right.
I guess he couldn't have cast it anyway. He just wanted to keep it for round 2 because that is one of the ways that he deals with the Druid.
Raven pretty good here against Bear. Matt's going to pass as well. Or
what?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, just because it has Quick Strike?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So the Quick Strike is favorable into Bear.
Obviously, okay, so he's giving up on the Raven. He doesn't care. He's just going to play his own Swordsman.
Yep. The Raven is a bluff here, sets up for future turns. I don't mind that. I've been considering that in a few of my first 5 decisions lately as well.
I mean, the Raven essentially isn't doing anything cool.
Right.
It's just a 3-power Quick Strike because killing that Panther Spirit is nothing.
Matt is threatening Meteor. Does he have Meteor in his deck? I did not. I don't have the deck list in front. Okay.
Yes.
So he is threatening the Meteor. We're going to probably see Butterfly Monk here. There goes 1 Molten Gold. That's not terrible with Namine having Encore to have a Molten Gold in the trash pile. So here comes Butterfly Monk. I'm not sure Butterfly Monk does what you want it to do when Namine hasn't taken any damage yet, but I guess it's a reasonable unit to just put on the board.
He's just trying to bait out the Meteor. Like, the Meteor on tapped Huntmaster, tapped Panther is, like, not good enough.
Right.
Maybe with 3 units he'll play, but I don't think Matt's going to get baited. He's not going to play that Meteor unless there's a Frostback Bear in play.
Yep.
So he attacks Butterfly Monk with the Essence Druid.
It's a good attack.
It's fine. I mean, no value on the life gain, but it still saved Namine 2 damage or whatever from the attack. And also, you can't guard anything else with Swordsman in play. So you just, because if you use that Phoenixborn Guard, then he gets to do some stupid stuff.
Gets to do some crazy stuff with Swordsman.
I guess it doesn't even matter in this board because the Panther is fleeting. So he's just going to the face.
Going to go straight to face, yep.
He doesn't care about that Huntmaster at all.
Just trying to get that bear to be summoned from Ben's side. It might be best for Ben to not summon a bear here.
No, I think you do it now. Like, if you did start Meteor, you're not down anything, because if you don't summon bear and pass, you're just going to next turn without a bear anyway.
Right.
So what are you going to do with those 2 nature class with no cards in hand and all your stuff tapped?
Just you might as well get the Meteor out of hand and
right. You might as well make him do it. Like,
yep, and here it is. Right.
Because if you don't do bear and he just passes, then he just has Meteor for next turn when you make a bear. Like,
right. The Swordsman and Essence Druid are going to come out of this round unscathed, but they're still on board. That's important.
They'll have 1 damage on them, right?
Right, that's what I mean. By not coming out of this round unscathed. They're
not coming out. I see.
Yeah.
I misheard you. So he's going to memorialize here.
Yep.
And put back what? Molten Gold?
Probably.
I don't think you put a Molten Gold back because you want to have. We want to make sure you have one in case you draw Encore.
Right. I'm not sure I agree with that play, but
I if that was his only target, I think it's fine to do just because you know that Memorialize takes you one card further away from losing
sure.
to the mill plan. But honestly, on this board, like you're so far behind, you might just die to damage.
Yeah, it's very possible that this deck will not end up milling, and so then I've just lied to our entire channel about what this deck is trying to do.
Well, it is a mill deck. It's just this particular game, like he's up 2 3 dice units on him.
Right.
Like that's enough to potentially just kill him with damage.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure. I mean, is Memorialize? I have not played Memorialize, so I've not read the card a ton.
It charges up when an ally dies, so he's just going straight dome.
So you could put anything back in or except for allies, you could put any other spell back. So you're right. He may not have
put spells back, but his two. What are his two cards? One of them is a Huntmaster. What was the other thing he played this round? Oh, it is a Scald.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Mongol is the only target.
Because there are 2 cards in the bin. Yep, that's correct. Yeah. So he's gonna knock that divine down to a basic divine power, and he's gonna roll up a nature power to get power going there. I guess as we'll see the butterfly monk now, but not Beast Mage.
Okay, so he's got that 4/4.
Wait, do not have the first player token. So Beast Mage is a second round play here. It's not a first round play. This is why I think I like Beast Mage as a one of if you play an Augury suite. If you decide to play Augury.
If Ben figures out something cool to do with it, good for him. But this card just seems worse than every night. I guess it's only one color.
Right.
But
and it has no power cost associated to it. So it's still 3 dice.
Half the time it's a million times worse than a night. Sure. And the other half the time it's like 5% better.
Right.
So I am not a big fan of either of those guys. I actually like the little one better just because he's more efficient. But I don't think he's very good either.
Yeah.
Because he only costs 1 dice and you get a...
The issue I have with the 1 die, whatever the other one is called, I can't remember either, is that it's not as easy to control when it can be played. Right? Like
yeah, it costs a main and a side. And it's a 1/1.
I don't mind. Beast Warrior. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Yeah. When we do these live, sometimes I have trouble remembering card names. And I have not played it. I've never actually cast a Beast Mage or a Beast Warrior. So
right. But in either case, I think you could be doing better with your dice spends. Though I believe that this is the 2-0 bracket, so maybe Beast Mage has been good for him. I don't know.
I don't know either. There's the Butterfly Monk. Going to extend that life pool on Namine by just a little bit here by putting out a 1/1 that's going to mend Namine. Also mend the Beast Mage, right? Because it hits unit or Phoenixborn.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
it definitely can.
I can kind of extend that Beast Mage's life this round. Beast Mage ever cover 0 on it? Yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. So you only have to get 2 damage on the mage and just take a 4 shot in a given round. So we're going to get the Raven to spray that monk down. That makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, it seems like fine value.
Sorry, his battlefield is getting full, so if Matt has more allies, he's only got space for 1 more. So he heals Namine up.
Again, we're looking at this weird board state where, it just looks like the Saria deck's a beatdown deck.
Right.
And, okay, so Nature's Wrath.
That's going to kill the Raven for sure. Because he'll just side action Nature Ping the Raven would be my guess.
I assume that's the play?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and this is kind of what I thought was, that was particularly good for Ben, but I figured that at least the Raven was going to get killed this turn.
Okay, so Beast Mage does get to heal 2 from the transform ability. Thank you, Carl, for that. Shows you how familiar I am with Beast Mage. We're going to get a Shepherd.
Does it do?
Transform as...
Oh, life and recover value
Right.
are increased by 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that makes it just a little bit more tanky, but getting that Enchanted Violinist back here is really solid.
Seems fine.
Beast
He's
Mage.
tagging for 4, can't be blocked, whatever.
Oh. I would imagine Matt's going to just attack for 1 here. Take back that life that the Butterfly Monk healed from Shepherd.
That's interesting. I guess the Shepherd really isn't doing anything the remainder of the round.
Right.
Because it can't block the Frostback Bear anyway, and it can't attack through it, so you might as well get the damage in while you can.
Right. I don't really know what it's very likely he's got River Scald. I don't remember how many River Scald's Ben's running in the list.
He's got the full 3.
So there's a chance there's a Scald here with the way the dice are showing, and still Frostback Bear, so you end up with a 2/2 on board.
There's like no guy. If he plays Raptor Herder, then your guy might matter, but other than that, it's not doing anything. So here's Frostback Bear, still showing the River Scald dice.
Probably trying to bait that 3-eyed owl out would be my guess into River Scald. But you've just got good attacks into Essence Druid. There's Orchid Dove. So now we're starting to see the mill turn on here.
Right. It's interesting because like you'll see him in this game, like if the board stabilizes somehow, which I still don't know what Ben's going to do with the Druid and Swordsman in play. Attack with Bear, I guess.
I'm guessing Saria is going to take this hit, right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't. Seems like it's pretty free to.
I'm guessing that what he's worried about is if that last card is a River Scald still gets there the same way that Bear does, but we're just going to get a focused Orchid Dove book here. That's really a lot of gas here in round 2 to have a single focused Orchid book here. Plenty of dice to still play Orchid Doves into this board. There is the River Scald we were talking about. So
right, and so this River Scald actually gets to kill both knights, assuming he has a 2-drop in hand.
That's what I was going to just add. So there's the.
Well, if he throws it that way, it can't.
Yeah, I think that's a misplay.
Or is it exhaustible? Okay, it still can. The Tame is exhaustible, so he can still attack
yeah, that's true.
The Druid to death.
Yep. So it doesn't really matter the order there.
Yeah. So I admit that Beast Mage looked pretty good this round. I'll be curious to see what it looks like next round.
Yep. I mean, leaving a 2/2 on the board, it is hard to kill R1, right? Like, you either kill it or it's going to come back with some life on it. So this is going to be the death of the Essence Druid. Both the units got good value for Matt, though. I think he's got to be pretty happy with that.
I mean, I would not have attacked for 5 at the beginning of the round.
But he's just punting the Orchid Dove for 0 at the Namine's face. And he's going to met it away. Interesting. What's Matt got up his sleeve here? Has he got another Essence Druid? No, another Shepherd, but that'll get back.
So he can get back the Essence Druid and get back the book, I guess.
Yeah. That's a sweet little tech play.
It's like, I mean, that's a trip to Value Town if there ever was one.
Right. Absolutely. So gonna med the Enchanted Violinist away. And he got back with the original Shepherd into Essence Druid, get back the Orchid Dove book.
Yeah, he doesn't get to make any more doves this round, but the Druid, I guess, can't kill anything, but it can come to the face.
It's going to go 3 to the face, so... I just wonder, do you try to take the Scald and force the block? I guess it doesn't matter, but... You can always see if they valued the Scald more than their life at that point. But I think Matt just wants to be as aggressive as possible here.
Yeah, Matt clearly thinks that he's going to win sooner rather than later. So I think giving your opponent the choice to block is not good.
I don't know what
because
Ben
then your opponent for sure gets the thing that they want the most.
What would Ben have here with no Memorialize up? And that's why Matt's not attacking the Scald, is because he would also just turn on Memorialize, right? And
I don't think he cares about that very much. I'm not even sure that there's a spell in there. I guess there's 6 cards in there now, so that probably is. I didn't see what he meditated.
Yeah, we'll see what Matt draws here going into round 3. This will be Ben's top of round. But certainly at this point, Ben's Barrett is, or the Beast Mage should have recovered one. You want to let him know, or do you want me to? There we go. Cool. I didn't know if you were going to do. All right. So.
Yes, indeed. It is a 2/2/0 now.
Yep.
So he pitches a Nature's Wrath to his turn. He draws 4.
And Nature's Wrath seems like it'd be really good here. Because you're not anywhere, 12 cards away from decking, so Orchid Dove is really not that threatening to lose a card off of it.
I mean, the 3 units it kills can't block his guys anyway, right?
Oh, I can block the Scald and Beast Tamer. No, I guess the Tamer can't, because Tamer still has Terrified.
Yeah.
George, you're right.
So
It's going to be a matter of how many Molten Golds and Encores we see happen now out of Namine here going into this round. So we shall see. So Siphon happens here. We'll see if we get a double roll up on Ben's side or if he goes ahead and takes something down. Yeah, I agree with that statement as well, Carl. Carl is saying Matt needs a Meteor here to open his board up. That's I completely agree with that. He's just going to attack with everything but the Scald. This is interesting because he just gets 4 damage in, which is good. The Scald would have gotten blocked anyways. But now the Raven, if Matt does play Raven, can just pray away that Scald and open up the board in an opposite fashion.
So he sends the squad.
He wants to get a block out of that Scald, I guess. So the Scald's going to die here. He's going to take 2. This would seem to indicate to me, the way he played this, that he's got the sweep, but he could just be bluffing that too. It's very, very likely. Matt's so skilled that it's very possible that Matt just wants Ben to think the sweep's coming, so he doesn't play anything threatening into him right now. You can't really afford to summon another unit here, but and certainly Ben doesn't want to summon another bear into a potential meteor, although Matt is not showing dice for meteor right now. He didn't meditate into it.
He could play meteor right now.
He could, but it'd only be 2. Right. We're going to get another butterfly book that will help extend Ben's life even further. Get Namine ability, draw a card, and exhaust Saria. Although we haven't seen Saria's ability come into play yet this game, even when Matt was able to use it in round 2. So all 3 Orchids are online now.
He's still a million cards away from decking, though, so
Yeah.
the focus ability doesn't really do anything.
No.
The second focus is still good. You've been spend the basics into it, but
yeah, the focus 1 is still very good here.
The focus 2 is a long ways from being turned on.
Yep. Gonna meditate 1 here. Shatter Pulse. How many Shatter Pulses did he have in his list?
He has all 3.
Here's first Molten Gold.
Yeah. Important to note that you cannot redirect Molten Gold.
Right. Because it's wounds. So I think it's going to come down to Ben can't play double Molten into Matt here. Matt's going to heal. That takes the combat math away. Great heal here to take away the would-be encore second Molten Gold this round. Got to memorialize online to put Molten Gold back, or encore, I guess. Not sure which one you. There's the Raven. Probably just going to shoot that Beast Mage down.
Well, you would preferably put the encore back, because if you put the Molten Gold back, there's no Molten Golds left. It turns off all your encores.
Right.
The encore back, you still have Molten Gold to keep your encores turned on.
Right. That makes sense.
So, Beast Mage down to the Raven.
Batter pulsing the Raven, I'm guessing here.
It has to be. I don't know what else you do.
I don't mind the Shatter Pulse. That's an expensive removal here. But, I mean, especially with Raven only having 2 life, like, I think you can...
I don't know. It seems fine. Shatter Pulse is an interesting card in situations like that, where, like, you've already used the unit. Like, it was going to die anyway,
right.
So you get a little value. It is expensive, obviously, but if the rest of the stuff you're doing is pretty cheap, then...
There's the Encore, get that Molten Gold back on the top, or I guess, yeah, Molten Gold here is most likely next.
He chooses to put it on top. You do have the option to put it on bottom and then draw a random card.
Right. I don't think you want to do that with 10 cards remaining. You need these burn cards to turn on now to give you the reach to finish the game. Important to note here is Matt will go first next round, so if he can stabilize the board in an effective manner and get rid of this Frostback Bear, he does have lethal just on units on board.
Well, there's definitely going to be a second Frostback Bear summoned, I would say. And also the possibility of a Butterfly Monk.
Well, he can't summon. He can summon Frostback Bear, but then he can't play the. He can't play the Molten Gold. He just encored.
Sure, he can. He would use basic Sympathy and 1 Nature to play Bear, and then bed up the other 2 Natures.
Right, but that would leave the Butterfly Monk out of the equation here.
Right, he can't do all the summons and.
Right. So he's going to try to hit whatever cards are in hand here, get a 50-50 shot on whatever that other card is in the hand. That's still got plenty of dice. So if he is setting up a Meteor play, and here's the double med to it.
If he meds that other Divine Dice, and so 2 Meteors in the bin now, he just medded 1.
Right.
Like, you have to assume he's on Meteor now.
Right.
That's a big telegraph.
Yep. He just fills the entire hand. So there goes a Butterfly Monk book. We're gonna get probably a second med into this Molten Gold would be my guess, but nope. He's gonna go Butterfly Monk here. I guess you get a point of life back on the would be Meteor play. So this is a good play versus playing Bear into Meteor. And you still could play Bear into a Meteor here.
Well, he's not going to Meteor unless other Bear comes into play, I think.
Yeah, I think he's got to clear his board, though. And he can play all those Orchid Doves, I guess. I don't know.
And then die? Like, Orchid Doves don't block his opponent's men.
I don't remember. They're asking if he'd already summoned a... I think he did, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Molten Shatter Pulse. Memory Drain. It's Encore. Wow. Makes me wonder if he had both Encores this round.
We played one already this round.
Right, but I mean, did he have all three then? Because that can't be the best card to get rid of. Oh, I guess you can memorialize it, right? So.
Well, one of the cards in his hand is Molten Gold, and Molten Gold as a card is better than Encore as a card.
Still hasn't worked it up.
And then, so his other card could be a Shatter Pulse. I don't know if that's good. What would he keep?
I don't know.
Not Rivers Fall. Can't play it. Raptor Herder?
Possible?
Oh, just.
No, he memorialized that. That's
Yeah.
a memorialize. Side.
And then. Pass me.
All right. A revival pack.
This opens up the Frostback Bear now, though.
Yep.
I guess he could have Neil. What other things do you have that deals with Frostback Bear?
Does he have Niels in his deck?
He does.
Yeah. Revival pack just puts 3 allies back for anybody. So Matt also passes, so he just takes that revival pack.
Okay, so it was Revival Pack side action pass, which is fine because he essentially like killed the second Frostback by not allowing it in play.
Right. He's in a good spot here. He can't really attack profitably, but I mean, Ben seems. It's hard to believe that Bear and Butterfly Monk are giving Ben this much of a tempo swing, but they definitely are here. Because what we should suspect here in this round is potentially a double Molten Gold play. The other thing Matt took away on the pass was 2 Molten Golds last round, so he is going to Hearts Bowl here, and he's going to hit a Magic Siphon. Don't know if that's a good hit or not. Obviously, you want to try to hit the Encores. It's just going to.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like you hit a Molten Gold or an Encore or whatever, and you feel real good about life, but it's you have no control over it. It's a card in his deck, so
right.
It has advanced him 1 towards the milling plan.
Take 1, heal 1. No damage change.
Yeah, but there's a spot open in his battlefield now for something.
I wonder if Matt starts pivoting here, where Ben can't be an aggressive attacker and is going to just start to try to burn to the win. Does he just play another owl and start memory draining and start trying to hit the hand?
I don't think he'll want to put an owl in play. It's just like not a very productive unit against bears and the beast mages. So this is the beast mages are small turn.
Right.
So he siphons down the lion to prevent the meteor, which gives him the opportunity to summon a Frostback Bear here.
I'm just going to go Molten Gold.
Instead, he chooses Molten Gold. 7 being a particularly good life total where you're out of double Molten Gold range.
Correct. Yep. Be curious to see if Matt's got another heal on deck. Doesn't seem like it, but he's going to go ahead and roll down probably those. Yep. That takes away the Butterfly Monks. Well, the butterfly monks were already taken away. I think we have a very good chance we're going to see another scald here. Even if it's for one to take the hollow away, because the hollow is threatening you.
Well, it blocks bear. He already has the essence turn in play, but obviously he has at least one other terrifying unit he can make this round, and so he makes a monk.
Mm-hmm. 4 to 4.
These monks have like extended the life total a little bit, but if we like the longer the game goes, the more likely it is that Matt gets the damage to kill him with these Orchid books.
Right. Because he's just got Orchid Book turned on. Ben's down to his final 5 cards. Matt's got 6 cards. So we're just going to see Hollow trade into Monk, I'm guessing here.
Yeah. He's just tearing him to exhaust that bear. Okay.
Ben's got some decisions to make because he's starting to get into this dangerously low card territory. You might end up having to get rid of your Memorialize, which seems bad.
Well, he's in no position yet to worry about being milled. Like, yeah.
I think didn't Matt go first here? I think this is round 4, right?
Yeah, I think this is round. Well, so the first one put 2 on here. Second round went to this and activated again in round 3. So this has to be round 4.
He had 2 Shepherds in play and he attacked with a. Yeah, that's correct. Don't have a.
Well, it has to be because, like, just looking at the Namine, round 1, he activated Namine, put 2 exhaustion on it.
Right.
Round 2 went to 1 exhaustion. Round 3, it got untapped and put 2 more on it. So at the end of round 3, it would have gone back to 1.
Right.
Which is where it's at now.
Yep.
In round 4.
Right. That's good point. Good point. We've seen Saria's ability, and we saw Hollow. Saria's ability into double Shepherd attack. Shepherd traded with the Monk. Ben is in the tank here.
Ben in the tank.
Yep. So, what are Ben's outs here? I mean, is it just Encore into Molten Gold? Try to survive the round?
I mean, Ben has a million ways to win, right? Like, we know he has a Molten Gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not sure about that. Did he play one this round? It looks like he did.
He did play one already. So
we don't know he has a Molten Gold, but we know he has at least one more terrifying unit because his Bear Book is untapped.
Right. They're just gonna make another Monk, send that life total.
He doesn't. He can play a couple cards from hand, but not very many. I guess the Memorialize is never going to turn on if he doesn't play an ally.
Right.
So like playing an ally, as long as you can get it to trade, is essentially a free card because you'll draw an extra card next turn, but you'll also put an extra card on the bottom.
Yeah, Raven shouldn't be exhausted. Sure. No. Yeah, it's not exhausted. Yeah.
Um,
Gonna pray.
he plays Raven and kills his own Shepherd,
Opens up the battlefield space for something.
and importantly makes a blocker for bear and a space for a blocker for the second bear.
Right. And if Ben doesn't have an answer like a Scald, he could very easily have Scald to kill Raven here, though. That's not outside of the realm of possibility. I think we've seen 2 Scalds at this point. Ben's deep enough in the deck.
Yeah,
he's going to med the
it's
meal away.
exactly 50-50 that he has a Scald right now. No, that's not true because we know the bottom card of his deck. So it's 4 out of 7 that he has a Scald.
Right. So roughly 58% or so. I don't think he can risk playing the bear because I think you just lose. Or Carl, don't you? If he plays bear here, you spend your last nature die.
Well,
And then
yeah, I mean, Carl makes an interesting point that the summon of Raven specifically is an indicator that he doesn't have Meteor.
I see. I see what you're saying.
Both because he has the Raven in play and because he Ravened his own guy.
Right.
To make room, which you wouldn't have to do that.
Unless he just wants to get the doves just to pull cards off the top of the deck. You know what I mean? Like because he's just got the ability to summon 3 doves here, and 2 of them dying to Meteor just immediately KOs the
and
2 cards
the
off
other
the deck.
thing. The other thing to note is that I think Bear is pretty safe here because you're still going to get your turn to attack. I guess the attack is a good into Raven and.
So there's the Encore. Can't play the Molten Gold this turn, but he's going to bring that Molten Gold back. So what I think is going to happen.
Let's see what he gets. He doesn't have to get Molten Gold.
No, but I think
he'll probably get Molten Gold.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Let's see what he does.
Yeah. And George, one thing I'm thinking he's got on his mind is to go ahead and take Raven into Bear here. And he either deals 3 damage to Phoenixborn face or he kills the bear with Quick Strike. He brings a Beast Tamer back. Okay.
So he just wants the terrifying units.
Yep,
that Beast Tamer is big this turn.
It's next turn, right? No, it is this turn that it's big.
It's this turn. It's big.
There's the Violinist.
Violinist.
You're going to exhaust that Violinist, ping the Monk, and mill a card.
Seems all right.
Yep.
I mean, you're against this deck, your Violinist doesn't do much more than that.
Then down to 3 cards. There's
now I would say...
that's a big Shatter Pulse here. That is a big Shatter Pulse.
Yeah, it's rough because, like, he's going to kill this Druid, and then he's going to have to block Bear with... Oh, he kills Raven. Interesting.
Well, Raven's the biggest threat against that bear because it can KO the bear in combat.
And he flips down the Meteor dice.
Yep.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't kill the Druid, I guess. Maybe he just doesn't think the Druid's a threat in the following round. Because what happens here is what was left over between Druid and Raven has to block Bear, I think. So then your Beast Mage that you just encored gets through.
Or
so would you rather...
You take the 2 from Bear here, and then you just block the Mage with Essence Druid. You just have
you take the 2 from Bear and you die.
How so?
you go to Molten Gold range, and
he's out. He can't play Molten
and
Gold.
Ben
right
goes,
yeah,
and Ben goes first next round.
Sure, that makes sense.
You're not going to 6 Ben.
No. Yeah.
So he makes him discard.
Let me drain here.
3 and 3. So this will put him on 0 cards, unless the Memorialize is triggered. And even then, he has the Saria side action to put him on 0 cards. The actual 0 cards fatigue damage doesn't matter as much as I think the Orchid Dove book activation does.
Yeah, I think he's got the out, Cam. To your point, just even playing second bear, he doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to play this Beast Mage because he'd have to meditate the Beast Mage, and you can just play bear right here for 2 damage. Go to top of round and Molten Gold to win.
Well, it depends on if he thinks he has an answer for bear, because, or for Beast Mage. Beast Mage is actually lethal unless Matt has something in hand to kill it or tap it.
I think that's the risk you have, right, with 4 dice still standing up. So he's going to dump the Memorialized to the Meditate, and he's going to make that Beast Mage or Beast Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not like make the lethal attacker here?
Yeah, I get it. Matt says you go first next turn, right? Yep.
This would do 1 fatigue to him, possibly 2 if the Orchid Dove dies somehow. But I'm looking at Matt's deck here. Both Hollows are gone. Sonic's gone. Essence Druid's gone. Raven is gone. He doesn't have anything left to block, so he has to have the redirect.
I've only seen one Neil go by, Carl. I don't know if there were other Neils that have gone by.
That's true. It could be Neil, it could be heal, or it could be redirect. Or I suppose rally the troops actually saves him for this turn, but not for next turn. And I guess heal doesn't save him next turn either. So
there's one more Neil.
There's a Neil.
And a redirect.
There's the redirect. So he must have the other Neil in hand.
Yep, so he's going to live to fight another day here.
Well, let's see what he does with the remainder of his dice. Obviously, he could make 1 dove. And he pitches the Raven book.
Threatening that redirect here.
Well, he doesn't have it. We just saw it go by. There's only 2 in the deck.
Only 2 in the deck, okay.
Yeah.
So what is the last card then? Enchanted Violinist. Finish that bear off.
That's pretty important.
Huge.
Because it kills the terrifying unit and mills him 1. Because now he's still not quite lethaled, because he's going to take 2 damage on fatigue and then 3 damage in the Orchid books, which will give him time to make a Butterfly Monk or 2. But I guess Matt has to figure out how he's going to block Bear and Beast Mage this turn and not die to Molten Gold.
Right.
Because we know that the bottom card of this pile that he's going to draw this turn is Encore.
Correct. So, I mean, I think a double Molten Gold here just ends it, right? Yep. So he's down to 4.
Yeah, I mean, if he just has 2 Molten Golds,
well,
but we know one of them's an Encore, so that's 2 actions. I'm not sure. Because these Orchid books, you can pay yeah, Carl,
Ed's the Frostback Bear, knows that that's not the solution, so there's the Molten Gold, taking Matt to 1. How many heals did Matt run?
2, I believe. Let me play. Yeah, 2. But heal doesn't help him here because he just goes to 3. He would have to have heal and rally the troops.
So what is the last 2 cards in his deck then? We got to know at this point. One's going to be an Encore.
One is an Encore.
Right. What's the other one though?
I don't know. I haven't seen all the meditations.
Yeah. You know he's not going to get rid of the Encore. You have to somehow... It's almost like Carl needed to play another Owl somewhere in there.
Matt, you mean?
Or Matt, yeah. Just going to attack for the lethal. Force that Beast Mage to block. Beast Mage will go down here.
I think you have to block. Oh.
He's going to resolve the other ones first for 3.
Yep.
Give him to 1. Beast Mage takes 1. Man, it doesn't get much closer than this, folks. Violinist and Druid. Pitch a strange copy.
I mean, I can't search his discard pile, so I don't know if all 3 Moltens are in there. If he just has Molten Gold in hand, then gets him.
Well, now he just has to play Orchid Dove, right? If there is a Molten Gold in hand, then it's GG. But if he doesn't, that's 1, 2. Oh, does he have the Molten Gold? Oh, he does. There it is. Wow, wow, wow. That was super close. Super duper close. So Matt gets 16 blood points, and Namine pulls off the Molten Gold victory. Saria is going home from this dinner party with a head full of gold. She's been Game of Thrones, folks. Very good game. Very interesting game. Yes. So they're just talking about the game. Ben thought that Matt might still have a heal or a rally.
Rally the troops.
Yep. Which is a heal in this case, if you rally the Druid and the Violinist back. So
right, neither he would have to have both for it to matter because he was at 1. Like you have to heal.
So I think potentially, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but if you put a 3-eye owl there at the end instead of attacking, would Matt have forced the Molten Gold out of hand and delayed it by another turn and still been able to attack? That's a question I have. No? Why?
No, because the attack and the owl are both main actions. So like
right, but you don't attack. So what I'm saying is you 3-eye owl with 2 cards in hand.
And he discards Encore and then Molten Gold to you.
Yeah, that's true.
He has an Encore in hand right now. Even if we didn't know what this card was, Matt would be dead. Like because he's not going to discard Molten Gold.
Yep. So, very good game from both players. Obviously, doesn't get much closer than that.
Did he play 5 Molten Golds or 4?
I think he played 4. And then did the rest of the damage through Beast Mage and Bear. So... They actually are putting a Chaos Gravity in? What? How do we get a Chaos Gravity in the discard pile? I don't know what's happening, chat. No idea. So just coming right out of the gate here, I like this Grave Knight out of the gate. This is you want to be aggressive against James and Fallen, and Grave Knight is a great way to just like put some damage on James right out of the chute. And you know it's if you suspect that first 5 meteor, like you're not going to be able to probably force the Psychic Vampire to block because you probably don't want to lose your other 4 cards. I don't know what the other, you know, how critical the other 4 cards are for German overall, but I'm just throwing out randomness and sometimes it sticks. Yeah, for sure. So there's the Psychic Vampire. That's a pretty standard opening line from Neil's Fallen list. He just gets value if German meditates a Shepherd away to gain that, set up the Immortal Commander Meteor play, meditates a Final Cry away. Exhaust and Form sounds aggressive. Yeah, it does sound very aggressive. It's a little less aggressive now because it's going to be 2 damage. Oh, you exhaust. Yeah, I see. You exhaust with Echo ability. So there's the 4 damage on James. Then they switch manual mode on to pull the Psychic Vampire off. Yeah, I like that play, Cam. I'm showing my Echo noobness. I have probably played 1 game with Echo overall. I need to spend some time playing Echo decks. I just don't know what kind of Echo deck I want to play. There's a variety of different ones here. So we just get first Fallen Book on board. This way, if German somehow does kill the vampire, you end up in a position where you know, you just have that opportunity. So to get a token out of it. So Neil takes the Risen Horde from deck to hand and takes 1 wound. So Neil is going to the Risen Horde plan in this matchup. German's going to put a Turtle Guard book in play. Gonna have time here, but Turtle Guard does die to Meteor. That is one thing that I'm not sure. Want to get Turtle Guards set up. Does prevent a little bit of damage here, but I think at the end of it all, you're not going to attack into the Turtle Guard. These guys are just going to turn into big units. So my guess is the last 3 cards in Neil's hand are going to be Open Memories for Fallen Book, Meteor, and Immortal Commander, and not on Widows out of the gate, which is fine. That's just fine. So German puts out a Lightbringer. I love the Lightbringer play into Turtle. I think that putting a Turtle out and then forcing them to attack and letting the Turtle soak an attack, get exhausted, and take no more damage is a really kind of trick play. So there's the Open Memories. Going to get that Fallen. Going to set up the Salamander Monk. I think you just want to buy time here. So there's second Fallen book up. I think German does have to do something here now, so he plays Salamander Monk. I think that's a perfectly reasonable outcome here. Neil can get Vampire killed and recur the Vampire if he wants. I think you just attack Echo's face for 2. It does, but then you're not playing any Fallen round 1 other than what the Risen Horde give you, and you've got the 2 dice to do your Risen Horde here. So I also think Neil's in a position where probably pass, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know what that last card for German is. Most likely, I don't know. I'm having a hard time guessing what that last card for first 5 on German would be here with this dice spread. It could be so many dice left, but he's going to spend the last one on the Turtle Guard. Going to spend 1, so most likely this is a Sonic Swordsman. Could be Master Vampire. No, can't be the Master Vampire, so it's going to be Sonic Swordsman. Most likely. Yeah, so it looks like a Double Knight opener into Sonic. I think That's okay. I think he's got to be scared to play Sonic before the meteor happens. So Echo's just going to block that Risen Horde. I mean, again, Neil's just got time here, so there's the Lightbringer. I think the sequencing was probably incorrect here. I think you're supposed to Turtle Guard. If you Turtle Guard and then Lightbringer, you force the Risen Horde to attack into the Turtle Guard. The Turtle Guard gets exhausted, and it survives the round and the meteor, the would-be meteor. So if your plan is, or you know your opponent's plan is meteor into Immortal Commander, then Lightbringer takes Swordsman out of consideration. No, I don't think so, because he's still got the Divine Sympathy and the basic. So I think we're still in the right frame of mind here for that. Lightbringer takes 2 damage. Okay, so he just attacked Vampire into Lightbringer. There's the Sonic Swordsman. Yeah, don't counter makes for sure. Makes the meteor more awkward. I still think he couldn't counter there, because if he did, he loses his Swordsman. But I definitely don't like playing Sonic here. Agree with you, Carl. I think you have to wait for the post meteor to play Swordsman, because you just walk into this meteor, put 3 damage on Swordsman, and then a single Fallen finishes your Swordsman off, and the turtle blocks a Fallen. I mean, but now German is you're just going to get the meteor here, trigger a bunch of stuff. The issue is the Risen Horde's Fallen aren't going to stick either on this play. So Grave Knight goes down. Salamander Monk's not going to create a spirit. Swordsman's going to go to 3. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means, Cam. Guard, sorry, I have Echo on the brain. Need to get Echo Guard so you can try to have Survive Meteor and hit the Immortal when it drops. Yeah, the Echo Guard is down already, but you're talking about James Guard. Yeah, it's too late for that. I think you have to play the Turtle Guard and retain your Swordsman over Turtle Guard. I think that the value on Turtle Guard here is pretty low when you get a whole bunch of Fallen play. So there's just 3 damage going to 8 for James. But now the James train is going to begin here. And what you're going to see is you're going to make a couple of Fallen, play Immortal Commander most likely. Yep. So you got Immortal Commander, a couple of Fallen. You drop your Turtle Guard into play. Neil can just make another set of Fallen. Turtle Guard can't attack. So you're going to have 4 Fallen here. First Fallen swings in to Swordsman for the finisher. Turtle Guard blocks it, exhausts. Second Fallen swings in, and then you attack for 4 to Echo's face, take him to 5. And then you go top of round, going first with 3 Fallen in play. So, yeah, this is... You gotta assume the Turtle Guard's going to block here, but maybe he wants to block it for the big attack. You save some damage on Echo if you do it that way. Yep. So he just lets the Fallen eat the Swordsman. So now passes right back. So we'll see the last 2 Fallen come out here. We get a 6 attack, deal 4, taking to 5. You do end up lingering with 1 damage on Turtle Guard. Not sure that matters, but you go top around and kill the Turtle Guard with a full out of swing. So here's the 6 attack we were talking about with Commander. Turtle Guard is going to go take 2 here. Echo will take 4, go to 5 as we called it. And while James took a little bit more damage, that's sort of what happens in Fallen decks, is you have to sort of weather the early damage ramp part of the turn, because every deck is going to be faster than you, but you're always going to have more actions. You're going to out-action your opponent. And that's exactly what we saw here in round 1 of this matchup, was just an out-actioning of the Echo deck, where I think played differently, German had the opportunity to keep his Swordsman up with alert and potentially flip the script on the board here a little bit. So one fallen goes down. Manual mode is getting switched on, but I don't know why. Did he just forget to counter, maybe? Oh, what happened here? Did I miss something? Yeah, I think you definitely swing for 6 at the top here. You've got 3 fallen on the board with a commander. And shouldn't the Turtle Guard have taken 2 there? I'm confused. I don't know what happened there exactly. I have to ask him about that because I thought he was going to end. So I thought he was going to end with 2 fallen in play, not swing for 6, but be able to swing for 4. Instead, we didn't have that happen. I don't know. But Neil's got the turn 1 here, top of round 2. Most likely, you're going to see. Yeah, see the swing for 6 top of round attack here. James has still got room for 3. Right, but shouldn't the turtle have 1 damage on it? Which would mean that this turtle guard would have 2 damage on it and die here. I see what you're saying. So it would have blocked for. Yeah. Okay. So it would have blocked. I'm a little confused, but they've got it figured out, I guess. I don't know. We'll ask them. So Echo's up to taking 9. James is taking 10 now. German meditates a swordsman away. And recur the swordsman here. And meditates a chaos gravity. So that's 2 chaos gravities down. They all recover 1 for sure, but I thought. So. Yeah, okay. I'm good, chat. I've got it figured out in my brain now. It basically what happened was he attacks for 1, turtle blocks the 1, then he proceeds to attack with all but his last one and he attacks for 4, does the 4 we were talking about, and in turn he gets to fully recover the turtle guard and the swordsman still dies, so the last fallen just attacking for 1. That's what happened. I see how the sequencing worked. I just couldn't get there after they rewound it. It was a little hard to see what was happening. So sympathy pain fires 2 onto James. Yeah, I got there, Cam. Just took me a minute. See the Anchornaut probably ping this herder away, most likely. It takes the hatchling. Okay, so valuing that group tactics, here's the chant of revenge. So Neil's starting to put the burn suite in play now. Things are starting to ticking for this. Here's the Lightbringer. I'm not a big fan of Lightbringer here, and here's why. Because it just exhausts the Anchornaut, but does that really get you value? So you're going to play second chant. Anchornaut's going to attack PB face, which means you can't block it, so you just are exhausting it. And the Anchornaut wasn't going to do anything other than maybe be a blocker. I guess you get a couple points of damage here if you take Lightbringer and Raptor Herder into James for 12, but like, I don't think you can afford to do that when there's Vengeances around and double chant on the board. Like we could just see. We could see a variety of plays from Neil at this point. One of the things that we could see from Neil is like a Blood Chains, especially if he tries to play a big unit again. No, doesn't have Blood Chains. He's got. Yep, so we're just going to see what. There's the Sonic. Does have the final cry play set up. Sonic here, I mean, 5 damage on James is nothing to snuff at. So there's another Anchor Knot, puts 1 on the Sonic Swordsman. Yeah, I think they got it correct for sure. All right, so I wonder why he chose not to take away the Raptor Herder here. Playing that Anchor Knot. I maybe you got a plan for how to kill the swordsman, but I don't know what that plan is. Could be said, nah, does he have festers? I don't think he has festers. There are no festers in his list. So unless he's got meteor in hand and he can just clear the board, like I guess you could kind of get there, like just doing a 2 damage meteor so your commander lives. That's maybe what Neil's setting up here. Seems like it's potentially possible. Yeah, no Fester or Bloodchains in this Fallen list. Just solely relying on the back of Vengeance and Meteor to clear boards. Yeah, Cam, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Neil's setting up there with a single point of damage on the Swordsman. But again, a 2 damage. So if you go 2 damage Meteor here, you get 4 Fallen tokens. So you can make 4 more Fallen. Leaves the Swordsman at 3. So you commit 1 Swordsman in. Haven't seen a second turtle. 3 dice left for German means that we're not going to see the Salamander Monk this turn at all. We're only going to see Turtle Guard, and we'd have to see if he has second Turtle Guard book. Second Turtle Guard book would start the exhaustion process, but I'm not sure you win off exhaustion on Fallen when they can just go wider than you. And I think you're looking at potential damage output here in the ranges of about 5 more damage to Echo this turn. So it might be 6 if I don't have my math correct. Kind of depends on what Neil's last 2 cards are. We know we've got 1 Meteor played, so there's still 2 more Meteors left in the bin. Yeah, I wish I could see him as well. So it's just kind of a guessing game until we see what card they put down. Such is the way it works even in real games, though, unless you've got a ton of stuff. So he's got an Accelerate. Going to Dice Fix here. Got 2 side actions. No, you're fine, man. I didn't think it that way at all. I wish I had hand information. It would make a lot of difference. So, but German's got to be careful here because he's got double side. So he does take out the Anchor Knot. He gets 5 damage in on James here. This is a good use before the would-be Meteor. This is a good play. Did he not commit everybody? He just attacked with Swordsman. Ooh. I think you got to take the total hit. You still got a Turtle Guard to play. I think if you're playing around Meteor, because right now the issue, Neil could Vengeance here, but the issue with Vengeance is unless he's got Widows on that double ceremonial, he gets no value from Vengeance, right? So like clearing with Vengeance isn't going to be great here. So the best clear is still Meteor for him. There's a Fire Archer. That takes away the Widow play. Now what we've got is full battlefield for James. And the issue you have with a Turtle Guard with 2 damage on Fallen is an Exhausted Turtle Guard doesn't survive a Fallen attack. So Neil can sort of set up here, and he's going to go for the 3 dice swing. That he's going to give up this Immortal Commander then. Do you have second Immortal Commander? I still think that last card in hand is probably a Meteor. Now, he's only got 1 more Immortal Commander, so I don't think that's what we're going to see here. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I think you have to play around the fact that Neil is in a perfect position to meteor your board, and if he's going to do that to you, you need to get those last 2 points of damage, because the best you can do is set up another Turtle Guard, and you're going to take some damage here no matter what. So we're just going to see Fire Archer get attack, and I don't think you want to counter. Like, I don't think you want to stand in front of this and counter, because you just turn on the Fallen Book and the Chance right now, right? And like, you want to force Neil to have the removal if he doesn't have it. Like, he could be bluffing this whole time, right? Like, there could not be a Meteor here, but it sure seems like we're getting that. So both Widows are in the bin. There's no more Widows coming out of Neil's. Oh, he's got 3. He's got 1 more set of Widows here. Seems very likely. So now here's the attack with, and see, if you're going to do this already, like I would have done this in sequence, I guess. Like, I would have done this last turn, because see, I just don't think Vengeance is good here, right? Like, you don't turn on the Fallen Book. You have no attacker for Vengeance. Yeah, I think he just misplayed that at the end of the day. Like, he would have gotten there for 1 more point of damage, and at this point, Neil can just charge his Fallen Books to the moon for next turn, right? So there's the Meteor. We played around it all game, or all round. We just knew that was potentially possible. Board is clear. We've got 4 tokens on Fallen. We're not obviously going to get all 4 Fallen here. We're going to get 2 Fallen and a Chant. Do a point of damage to Echo. But we got 3 Fallen. We got Books charged for 3 next round. Like, not that James isn't. I mean, James is only 4 health away, right? And so Echo has done a great job up to this point of pressuring James to damage. But you can save this guard if you block with Echo, if you really want to. Yep, he's not going to. And see, I think you want to save both. Yeah, I like Turtle Guard a lot fighting, but you gotta have the side of the deck, the other side of the deck, to sort of set it up. So where I like Turtle Guard, that is in a very similar fashion to how I play Builders. You play a couple of them, maybe 1, maybe 2. They're big enough that they're challenging for an opponent to deal with them in some way, and you can get things like Seeds of Aggression. So how do we get another turtle on board? I think he's just going to take the Echo block. Yeah. Okay. They figured it out. This was the best play, because the best play is first guard Echo, second guard is Turtle Guard. Both Turtle Guards survive the round. You have to do that, right? You can't let that position get eaten up by a single Fallen. The interesting thing here is both players are relatively similar in terms of life totals right now, but the Fallen has just got so much potential tempo going into round 3 here, just because of 3 tokens on there. Like, you can just start using Fallen in a variety of ways and not worry about ally play at all. But I'm sure Neil's got a very good chance to draw his other Fallen book. Yeah, I definitely have known that to be an issue. I've talked to Dujon about how blocking needs some work. So the Fallen discard, plenty of allies still left for Neil to dig out here. The discard for German, he's got 2 swordsmen and a grave knight. Oh no, let me get to his deck list here. He's got a single swordsman left. He's got a vampire left. Thought we saw a raptor, but maybe he recurred the raptor somehow. Yeah, most definitely. Neil's just making room on his board for more Fallen here. I mean, at this point, you can get all 6 Fallen in play, fill in James's battlefield. He can recur the Immortal Commander, and I mean, that has to be difficult for German. So we see the Meteor get meditated. That's one of his meteors. German does have another one meteor in there. He does meditate a stasis, and meditates a sympathy pain, and an accelerate. So lots of meditation happening here. And I think that's 2 chaos gravities down. Yeah, sympathy pain, stasis, and all 2 meteors now. So that hits the last meteor. So no sweep for chaos gravity, which could be powerful. But here's a Lightbringer attack. I'm okay with this because you got 2 turtle guards up. Like, does he have shared sorrow? Good question. No, he does have crescendos, but against Neil, crescendo feels pretty low value. Shared sorrow would be a great way to get those meteors back for sure. Okay, 3rd chant online. So now, if we see allies, like, we see one ally get killed at all this round, and Echo is down. He puts all his best spells. Yeah, there's a Sonic Swordsman. So now we are reflecting lethal damage. Lethal damage from the Swordsman and the Lightbringer. Unfortunately, I think because you can make 2 Fallen here, he just makes 2 Fallen into this board. The Swordsman can't get through. Because even if you exhaust a single Fallen with Echo ability here, only the Lightbringer could get through. So Neil's just making those Fallen as defensive units here. Not sure it's going to matter on the double exhaustion side, but you do attack with both units. You just block the Swordsman for sure. We'll see if Neil makes that decision, but I think you block the Swordsman for sure. Take 1. What happened here? Oh, he crescendoed. Wow. Crescendo for the win. Wow. Okay. Crescendo gets it there. Yep, that is a get there. That is the 2nd time I've seen German win off crescendo. What a powerful crescendo that was again. German doesn't need uniques. He just needs crescendo. Like, hyped move. Yeah, for sure. Great call, Carl, catching that ahead of time. I was trying to figure out what German would have there to pressure the board like that. But yes, crescendo is definitely a way to get around double blockers with big unit value. For sure. Excellent play from German here. Thought we would see thought we would see that Fallen stabilize here, but Crescendo is just such a blowout. Yeah, I agree, Carl. I love Crescendo. I mean, it's just got power for days everywhere you look. It's good with Herald. It's good with Echo. It's good with Maone. Um, Lots of interesting decisions there. So, Fallen falls. I pun intended. It's also good in Airedale. I agree. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things you can do because Airedale with Blue Jaguar and Fallen or Crescendo is just also essentially remove 2 blockers from the sequence. So when you're going for lethal like that, if you get Crescendo, that is your out. So great job by German to have the Crescendo, see his out, and play into it. Yeah, he definitely had to be the aggressor here, and he did that throughout the course of the whole game. I think the only mistake I really will still stick by was where he didn't attack with all 5 units before the meteor in round 2. He would have just went ahead and put another point of damage on. And you just want to take, when you're the beatdown, you want to take all the damage you can and just try your best to absorb as much. Yeah, the Turtle Guard is really good against Fallen, just because it takes so much tempo away from the Fallen, even just blocking 2 times. So an Echo's battlefield size of 6 makes for the ability still to put 4 good value units. Yeah, I agree that the round 1 Sonic was also just a misplay. He should have held that and forced the meteor into the Turtle Guard round 1. Because you can get Turtle over and over and over again, and then play Sonic and had just a stand-up Sonic there for a lot of value, even into the Immortal Commander, whatever it may be. You force the James block early in different ways. There's different ways to play around that to try to make that work out for you. But yeah, great game by German to get there. Again, I don't think I saw any glaring misapproaches from Neil. I think that he did exactly what he needed to do, and Crescendo was the best out that could have got him there. So kudos for that, and watching and knowing what your role is here, and not trying to, like, I think a common fallacy with Fallen is trying to play around their board, like trying to keep up with the units that they make, and you just can't do that. So you have to be on plans like this. Bypass is another great way to be on a plan like this, right? Just massive growth bears and just push those bears to the moon against Fallen, because they rely on such small units that you can sort of punish them that way. So yeah, I mean, Crescendo is also just very good at that.